The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melone.
Hi everyone, it's Sophia Melonē, the Debt Demolisher, here to bring you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you manage your financial baggage the right way. What an honor and privilege it is to be before you all for yet another episode drop as we cover day 20 of our conversations around immense focus with E.T. Eric Thomas, where we have been taking daily nuggets from his lessons that we've been pulling from his channel and posting quote cards on the community page, guiding us into our conversations around the day. So today's conversation was really also a jumpstart of what we talked about yesterday around having a new year or starting a new year. But what the lesson was today is the reminder that last year is over. Now, what does that mean? What does that look like? E.T. said a lot in this video where he talked about the work ethic or the things that we did to accomplish the things that we did in 2021 is no longer relevant or is no longer good enough for what you plan to be doing in 2022. So I'm saying these years because it's the year that we're in and it's the year that's most closely to us, but this can apply to any year of your life. So when we look at the words that were shared, he said it's a new day. He says it's a new era. We're in a different time now. So we have a lot of opportunities, and oftentimes we leave a lot of the opportunities on the table. So today, I want us to really think about the opportunities that have been before us and how we can allow ourselves to take advantage of these opportunities to benefit not only just us, but our future. One of the things that E.T. said was that we have an opportunity of a lifetime. What does that mean? He's saying that you have an opportunity to represent for your ancestors. You have an opportunity to represent for your name. You have an opportunity to represent for those who came before you. So what you're doing today is not just for you, it's as a representation of those who built the path, who has created the way for you to be where you are in this world and in this moment today. He said that I'm sure that one of his ancestors lost their lives trying to get better, but not just trying to get better for themselves, but trying to get better because they knew that their particular life may not be able to change, but the lives that come after them will. And so we have our ancestors to thank. We have those who came before us to thank. And one of the ways in which we do that in terms of demonstrating that faith and demonstrating that thanks is by making sure that we're taking advantage of the things that has been placed before us now and in this time. He says that, are you making whoever your ancestors are you making them proud? How are you allowing yourself to make your ancestors proud? How are you allowing yourself to represent those who came before you and take that torch and carry that torch with pride? He says, when you make decisions and you make decisions that aren't the best decisions, he says that you're only caring about yourself, but those decisions that you make actually affect somebody else. So how are you allowing yourself to make a decision that could be for the betterment of not just you, but the other person that surrounds you or those that's going to come after you? He says that somebody put in the work for you to be here. Somebody grinded so that you can be here. Somebody did what they needed to do so that you could be here. So as a result, you owe them. He says that a lot of times we party when we really don't understand what the party should be representing. A party should represent a reward. So what have you done to earn the reward? Why are you partying? He says there were people that got here, so we cannot forget them. Another thing is we have to make sure that we're representing our last name. So what is your last name and what does that name mean to you? And you have to remember the name that you're carrying on your back every single time you show up. He continues on by saying, don't put your last name on no mess. Come on, don't put your last name on no mess. Show up and be your best. Wear that name proud. And it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect, but E.T. says you've got to have progress. That's a powerful piece that I really want us to dissect and think about, because oftentimes we allow perfection to not allow us to move at all. And if we want to make sure that we're still progressing, we have to make moves so that we can get to that state of perfection that we so desire to be. after continuous effort. So you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be making progress. And in order for you to be able to make progress, you got to be taking some action. He says that you shouldn't be the same person that you were last year. You shouldn't be who you were the year before. So the person you were last year should not be the same person who you are this year. You need to be able to take it up a notch. You need to be ready to take it up to your next level. He says, who wants to make God proud? How can you allow yourself to make God proud? What else? Who else wants to make the Lord proud? He says, so when you practice, and I'm going to put in some other words, when we write our books, when we record our YouTube videos, when we produce our content, when we write our stories, when we perform or when we show up to perform, we do it to glorify God. We do it to the glory of the Lord. And so that's one thing that we have to remember when we're executing our days. He says, don't take last year for granted, because last year's work is not good for this year's schedule. How powerful was that? That was the quote of the day. Your work last year is not good enough for this year. So you have to be willing to add on to what you did last year to make it better. He said, you're going to have to do whatever you did twice as much last year in order for you to continue to win, because there's going to be more coming your way. There's going to be more coming your way. He said they didn't know about you last year, but they gave you a pass. But now that they know about you, you're going to have to do more. And they're not going to give you any passes in the future. So you have to show up and show up fully. He said you were a secret last year, but it's out now. So since you're a secret out, since you're no longer a secret, you're out there. God brought you here. God brought ET to this room. God brought ET to this space to remind us that to whom much is given, much is required. So we have to be ready. We have to stay in and work. We have to be ready to let's go. We have to remind ourselves that we can, we will, and we must. So that's the conversation for today. Make sure that you continue to tune into the remainder of the lessons as we carry through the resting of this month. I want to remind you that your financial prosperity awaits you, and so does your financial sanity. You already know what I'm going to tell you to do, and that's what? Get to work. All right. Bye.
The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melonē. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia Melonē. The Debt Demolisher TV with Sophia